Adam, good to see you. Good news about the contract
Thank
this
you.
week. I guess that was an easy decision for you, was it, to sign on the dotted line again?
Yeah, no, it's such an easy decision. I want to stay. I think I made that clear over the whole time I've been here. Really enjoy my football, and really enjoying the atmosphere around the place with the lads in the club. It's something special, and I realise and I'm aware how special it is at this time. And for me, it's I don't want to not be a part of this journey, and not be a part of where it's going because it's something you will remember for the rest of your life. So for me, it was an easy decision. I'm so happy to be a part of it and just to look forward to the future of where we're going.
Interesting you talk about that, about the journey that the club is on and where it's going, because I think for many people, their mind is kind of focused solely on the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
But from your career's point of view, this is
yeah.
just the first step on a longer journey, right?
Yeah, no, and obviously it's hard not to look so short term with how much obviously the reward is around the corner. But for me, it's from the outset is I know where I would want this club to be and where it needs to get to and how much it means to everyone involved. So regardless of how it goes in this period that's coming up, it's all about getting this club where it needs to be in the time that I'm here. And that's given everything every day, but making sure it happens eventually. And if we do that, it will bring happiness to the club, to the fans, and everyone around Nottingham.
It's great to see so many of the players. You can tell how happy everybody is to be playing for Notts County. Hasn't always been that way. I remember speaking to you probably a couple of years ago
Yeah,
when you publicly apologised to
yeah,
supporters, but now I wonder how much that has changed, completely flipped on its head because you seem so happy now.
yeah. I mean, happiness in this environment comes with winning. And that's the nature of it. Once you truly turn your attention that every person here is on the same narrative of trying to win football games to give what obviously the fans and the club deserve and everyone's on that page, then you see a same direction from everyone, and that's what it feels like. It feels like we're only going one way with it, but that takes everyone, fans, players, staff. It takes a collection of a group, and that's why while I'm in this door, I'll always put myself second to the group because it's going to take that for us to go to the heights where we want to get to, and with these group of lads, I know that's achievable.
Been interesting this season that obviously the main talking point for people outside of the club has been Macaulay Langstaff and his goals and everything else. But it strikes me that there's another subplot to it, which is players like yourself who've been put in a different position and asked to do different things. And Aaron, a man who didn't play that much last season but has become integral this. Sam Slocum missing out last season
Yeah.
and then playing all through this season. So I just wonder how important that's been and what Luke Williams has done for players like yourself who've been there
Yeah.
before this season, but it seems to have given you a fresh lease of life.
Yeah, I think it's a collective push. So we are all we are all pushing so hard against each other in training every day. There's not one given person that's going to be taking us to the place that we need to get to. It's not one person that's going to do it. And if you've seen how we work, how we are together, we're constantly pushing each other in training. So the level of training is so high now that you're seeing people come and step into probably in realms that you wouldn't have seen them before, of their capabilities. That is down to the manager and all his staff setting that out for us, but then it's also us as a collective group being able to take the level of training to a level that we might not reach individually, and that is how a collective group's gonna thrive. So it's we're seeing that, and it's great to see multiple people doing well.
I remember Luke Williams said earlier in the season that he'd set you a target for this year, but he didn't tell us what it was. Now, I'm not. You don't have to say what it was,
Yeah.
but please tell me you've achieved it, because if it's anything more than 11 goals, that's an extremely harsh target to set somebody.
Um, I would say I achieved a goal, but then the goalpost always gets moved for me. So if you're asking me if I've achieved it, I haven't achieved it because I'll always push it. Once I achieve it, it's always been moved. So really, no, I haven't achieved it, and I have achieved it at the same time.
Fair enough, fair enough. I just wonder what the mood was like after the weekend. You go away from home, you score 5 goals, you do everything you can,
Yeah.
and then you find out Wrexham have gone and done what what they needed to do, and you find out that it is playoffs. What's the reaction from you, from your
Yeah.
teammates to that news Saturday night?
For me, it was a feeling of we pushed them right to the limit. Every time we got asked the question when we didn't have a result our way, and the question was there, are we gonna fall away and let Wrexham run away with it? In my mind, it was such fuel to the fire to really come in the neck, dust it down straight away and be like, you're gonna have to earn every single minute of the season and every single minute of it to the last game, because you ain't just gonna walk away and just have a nice little 3/4 or quarter of the season to just enjoy your time. I made it my sole priority to push them all the way to the last minute, whether we were gonna earn that last bit or they were gonna earn it. And sometimes you just gotta hold your hands up and say, they done well to get that little bit extra, and they deserve it. And we tried as hard as we could, right until the end.
And now you've just got to make sure that there's a happy conclusion to your story this season as well, haven't you? Now, which is
Exactly.
another big step.
Yeah, no, of course, and as I said, it goes back to doing the same things as we've done all season, preparing in the same way, trying to win a game of football and then another game of football, and doing that to our best of ability. And if we do that, I'm sure our chances of winning the game are going to be high.
And with this final league game, what do you want to get out of it? Because in a sense, the points don't matter anymore. So, from your point of view, what's the aim for this weekend?
To me, it's I want to win the game first and foremost. That game is going to be, there'll be no holding back at all to any other game I've approached, because it's very easy to get into the mode of this game doesn't matter, but winning is a habit, and it's a factor of, if you go into the game with a loss or a feeling of taking your foot off the accelerator and not pushing in with everything you've got into the game, it can drip into the next game. And as a group, we haven't done that all season. We haven't done it in pre-season, so to do it now would be such an injustice. And for everyone that comes and watches the game, pays good money to watch the game, etc. I think you're doing such an injustice if you don't go and give everything for the fans that come and watch, even if it's a game that points are irrelevant. It's a game that you're still putting on a Notts County shirt, and you're still having to show how much it means to everyone in that stadium and watching the game.
Brilliant stuff, Adam. Thank you very much.
No, I
Best of luck
appreciate
this
it. Thank you.
weekend.
Cheers.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hi Adam, just a couple of follow-ups really from me.
Yeah.
So when I spoke to Matty Palmer a week after he'd signed his new deal, he highlighted the influence of Luke Williams in his decision. How much of an influence was he for you when signing that new 2-year deal?
Yeah, no, massive. The style that he brings, the environment that he's bringing, everything that he's brought is so it's so value to how I live my life, how I act, how I treat everyone. He's got very similar core values to myself. Sorry. So it makes you want to play for him. He's a great person, not just a great head coach. So, it makes you want to work harder, makes you want to play harder. And then he set up a space for all the younger lads as well to flourish. And for me, it gives me so much energy seeing that. Being in my early 30s, it's given me so much energy seeing so many lads improve in such a short amount of time. It's reignited so much passion for the game. So he's doing a great job.
So just looking back to Saturday at Maidstone, so you were amongst the substitutes and Frank Vincent started at left wing back. How do you think he's acquitted himself since coming back on loan in a new position?
He's done brilliant, to come back in and be so willing and open to learn, be moved into position, having no arrogance, having no feelings of disappointment, being moved into a position but seen as an opportunity, and then learning and improving and asking me questions along the way, and being really really open to again putting the shirt back on, feeling no disappointment that he had to go out alone and learn so many more techniques about himself, and then come back and apply them, and you can see the progress. And that's someone who's willing to learn, someone's willing to improve, and you know the manager saw that and gave him a chance, and he's been brilliant in the last few weeks of training, and that's why, you know, as a team, as me being in a similar position, it's not I'm coming out of the team. I need to feel anger towards him to see him work so hard and go in. We all support each other, and that's how we're gonna get to a collective position of, you know, success.
Yeah, when I spoke to Frank, I think it was about a couple of weeks ago now, he highlighted your influence of adapting to the new position, saying how much you helped him adapt into that position. Is that something that you pride yourself in, being one of the more experienced players within the squad, providing that sort of bits of encouragement and bits of, you know, improvement for the players as well?
Yeah, it's massively important. I mean, they're going to look for us for guidance and help. And if we don't pass on our knowledge, I mean, what is the point of me being, you know, carrying on in this game? Because if you can't pass on your knowledge to the youngsters and help them to then take that further into the next generation of football, you're doing a real injustice to the next generation, because if you don't pass on stuff you've learned and then for them to then take it further, you know, it's not going to keep moving the football in a direction that's beneficial. You know, it's very, very arrogant and very poor management from an older player. So, you know, I'm happy to pass on my knowledge and happy to show them every day, and they have to be open to it, and they are, and they're learning, and you're seeing the results from that.
And then just moving on to another fullback, the club posted a video of Toby Adebayo rolling in his journey through his rehabilitation, and he explained during that video his role that he's sort of playing in the squad, you know, providing that little bit of extra encouragement from the sidelines despite not playing. How does that help you as a team? How valuable is that, you know, going into these final 3 games as well?
Massively. Like I said, it's everyone's involved. Whether you're in the team, out the team, you feel like you're so far from the team. Everyone has a part to play, and everyone here knows and values the part of everyone's position, whether you are injured or not, how much it contributes to the team. Because whether you're in the team and you've had a hard spell of games, and there's people with energy that are out the team that are picking you up, all of it matters, because it's all helping us get to a collective goal. And you know, none of it gets looked past or seen. We all appreciate it, and that's what I mean, as in this, having the collective feel of a special group of players. To have that and then collectively have that is amazing, and you don't get that very often. And when you're in that, and that's why I'm so happy to be staying, because you don't always get that, and you don't always have that environment. So when you're in it, you need to really appreciate how much that actually is nice to be involved in, and appreciate it.
And then just finally from me, looking ahead to the game this weekend, in the last fixture that you played against York, it was the start of the record-breaking 25-game unbeaten run. In hindsight, just how important was that to bounce back from the defeat from Dorking the week prior and then go on this incredible run? Like, the mentality to show that been incredible. Just how important was it to bounce back from that defeat?
It was great, because obviously it was it all knocked us back as a group. You could feel it after that game. Obviously we had multiple chances. It was all in our hands that game, and it didn't go our way. And that was the first question of us as a group, you know, and it definitely made us stronger. We saw the hunger in the week. We all looked at each other, and we all got asked the question to each other, and we all stood up and answered it. And from there on, obviously the run spoke for itself. But you know, sometimes it takes disappointment like that to really galvanise us all together and be like, this is going to happen sometimes, but our reaction to it's just as important for the club and for everyone around it, that we go back and give everything again.